apply to law school, you expect and hope to be admitted, but know that you could also be denied or placed on the wait list. But there's actually a fourth category called hold. Many people are curious as to what hold means, and essentially, if you are held, that means that they are holding your application over for further review. This happens frequently if you apply in an early admission program, or if you apply earlier in the process and the school isn't exactly sure what to do with your application, so they hold it for further review later in the spring. Candidates who are placed on hold usually fall into one of a variety of categories. The most typical is someone who is probably just below the medians, but has submitted a really solid application. And in that case, the school would like to admit the person, but depending on the medians and how the rest of the class falls, they can't or don't feel that they can admit the person early in the process. Another case is if you have a high LSAT low GPA or low GPA high LSAT. And in that case, sometimes they want further or additional information based on your grades or your LSAT score in order to determine which is the most valid. Another instance when you may be placed on hold is if your file is competitive, but the school doesn't really get a good sense that you are actually interested in attending. Some of the schools will then ask you to write an additional essay or to supplement your application with your interest in that school because they want to admit people who are really interested in attending their school and not someone who's just applying because they think that they'll be accepted and to get in. So what do you do if you're placed on hold? If you are still interested in that school and want to remain active, I suggest that you write them a letter or follow the instructions in your hold letter if they ask you to submit additional documents. Generally, if you don't do anything, you're likely to be denied from the hold. But if you're proactive and you show that you have a strong interest in their school, or you can mitigate a weakness that you didn't mitigate earlier in your application, you have a good chance of being accepted later in the season.
When it comes to law school admissions, how will you know which schools might be a stretch? How do you target your safety schools? What are your strongest story themes and wow factors for your personal statement? Which recommenders will have the most impact on your application? How will their recommendations, along with your resume, give the admissions committee a holistic review of your candidacy? Call us at 703-242-5885 to learn how admissions consultants can help you develop a law school application strategy that will make the most of your background and your potential.